Hi everyone, it's Melissa and welcome back to another Friday Reads. This week I have one recent read to share, one currently reading, a book haul, and a little movie watching update and general life chat. And yeah, let's start with what I read this past week. I read I got this at a used bookstore, so it didn't come with the dust jacket, but this is the Invention of Hugo Cabret by, I've forgotten the author's name, by Brian Selznick. So this is a middle grade, and it is an illustrated book. It's not a graphic novel, but it does have large sections that are like full page spreads. Here, I'll just show you a couple here of like full illustrations, and then there will be like some text and then more like full page illustrations. So although this looks like a thick book, it actually didn't take me long to read it all. So this is the book on which the film Hugo was based, and I watched Hugo a number of years ago and I didn't remember it super well. And so I got a lot of enjoyment out of this, not only because it was a good story, but because I didn't remember much of the film. So there were a couple of surprises along the way. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It has definitely made me want to watch the movie again, because although I really enjoyed the book and I loved the illustrations and I thought the story was really fun and heartwarming, the visuals of the film were just so good that I think I prefer the film, but I would still highly recommend the book. I think it was just a really delightful read and what I needed at the time. So that's the one thing I read, and I am currently about a third of the way through The 13th Tale by Diane Setterfield. I guess this is a bit of a spoiler because this is part of a reading vlog, but surprise, I'm reading this. So I'm doing a reading vlog about, or focusing on, books on my shelf, and this is one of the ones that you guys recommended I pick up. So I have a little pile of possibilities that I'm working through over the next week or two. I'm hoping to finish this up probably this weekend, even though I'm only a third of the way through. It's been pretty fast reading. I'm normally quite a slow reader, but this I am totally captivated, and any second I have to read it, I'm reading it. The writing is gorgeous, so thank you for recommending this one. I am so happy I'm getting to it. And yeah, unless something dreadfully, like, I don't know, unexpected or weird happens, I foresee this being a favorite. It's so good. I love the writing style. So that's the have read and reading pile. Now on to a little book haul, which I don't really do on my channel very often, so I've decided to just lump it in with this Friday Reads. I don't do book hauls often because I don't buy a lot of books, and also even when I do buy books, I only typically buy like 1 or 2 books at a time, not a whole stack to show, and like book hauls just typically aren't my thing. But I'm quite excited about this pile because it was from a like a book sale that happens in my city every year, and they haven't done it since 2019. So this is the first time it's been back in a while, so I just really wanted to go support it. It's for like a local chapter of like a university women scholarship kind of thing. And it's like a huge book sale. It's like, yeah, it's kind of wild. So I went and I found some books in like really good condition, and also they're super cheap. Like where I live, books are expensive in Canada in general, but even used books aren't like that cheap. So these were all $1, which is like $1 each. I don't mean they're all $1 together. They were $1 each, which is insanely cheap for here. And they were all in really good condition. So yeah, I just thought I would share these. So first we have Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. This is a memoir that has been on my TBR forever. So I figure if I have it on my shelves, I will be more likely to pick it up. I say that, but I have all these books. Also, I've just realized how this looks because I'm currently in the middle of filming a vlog dedicated to reading my physical TBR and reducing that. And then I went out and I bought a bunch of books. So, I mean, that's how smart I am. Anyway, I love memoir. This is always pops up on lists of like best memoirs of all time. So I know I am going to get to this probably sooner than things that have been sitting on my shelf for longer, but it is what it is. Next, I found this copy of And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I've only read one other Agatha Christie, that was Crooked House. Really enjoyed it, and most people who have read multiple Christie books have said that this is her best, so I figure might as well just pick that up. I'm sure I will enjoy that. The next book I have read already, and that is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, but I know this is something I will want to revisit, so I wanted my own copy. But it's about two sisters, and one is kind of passionate, romantic, leads with her heart, overdramatic maybe, and the other sister is very pragmatic, level-headed, and maybe a little bit more subdued. And I just love the dynamic of these sisters. I recently watched the 1995 or 96, whatever it was, adaptation with Emma Thompson and Kate Winslet, and I loved it. And yeah, I will definitely reread this at some point in the future. I also found Beloved by Toni Morrison, and this is on my list of books that I wanted to read this year, so I figured, you know what, I might as well pick up a copy. I have a suspicion that this is a book that I'm really going to get on with, so I figured, you know what, I probably will want my own copy. If I'm wrong about that, I can just give it to somebody, but I suspect that will be one that I would like to keep. This is a book I don't know anything about. It is Gilead by Marilynn Robinson. I picked this up only because I quite recently have heard multiple people talk about this on their channels as one of their favorites, or just like a really great piece of writing. I think it's part of a series. I hope Gilead's the first one. I think it is. But I haven't read any Marilynn Robinson. So because I've heard people talk about that recently, it was kind of, I guess, in the back of my mind, and I saw it and I figured, you know what, it's $1, I'm gonna get it. The next thing I found was Burial Rites by Hannah Kent. So this is the story, this is historical fiction set in the early 19th century. So it's about a woman who has been sent to Iceland to await her execution. And this just sounds like my type of book, the tone, atmosphere. This is a Melissa book. I think it'll have the right amount of tension and kind of discomfort, but also sounds like it'll probably be a slow and quiet type of book. All of those things are things that I like. So the tone, the atmosphere, sounds like my kind of thing. And the last thing that I found was Trevor Noah's memoir, Born a Crime. I think this is a memoir in like essays, or yeah. The back says it's a substantial collection of staggering personal essays. So I struggle with essay collections, but I think I will really like this one because it is more memoir. And also, I just really like Trevor Noah. Anytime he has like a monologue, or he's a guest on a show or a podcast or something, I like the way he tells stories. I like the way he weaves a narrative, I suppose. So I think I will get along with his writing. And I just think his life is fascinating. Growing up mixed race in South Africa during apartheid, I think is just such a fascinating time and place in history. So that's my little haul. Just a quick update on the movies I've watched recently, because I've only watched one new movie. So I've had this goal this year to watch more new to me movies, because I always rewatch the same favorites over and over again. And my husband made me watch a movie that I had no interest in watching, but I'm glad I did, because I really enjoyed it, and it's Death Becomes Her. I think it's from the early to mid 90s. I'll try to remember to insert what it looks like, but it's like, it's a comedy, maybe it's a dark comedy. I think it's more comedy than it is dark, but it definitely has some dark undertones. Anyway, it's starring Goldie Hawn and Bruce Willis and Meryl Streep. Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot Meryl Streep's name. Anyway, I won't give too much away, but essentially it has to do with one of the characters finding this woman who is selling basically an eternal youth potion. There's a lot of commentary here about kind of like, especially in relation to women, but society in general, our obsession with youth and beauty, especially in Hollywood, but again, more generally. And it was really funny, but also dark. And yeah, this is one of these like hidden gems. I don't know if it ever got big, but yeah, Death Becomes Her. It is just a nice little gem of a movie, and I'll definitely watch it again. And I have been talking for longer than I intended to, but I will just a little life update. Happy to report I am a little bit more relaxed in my schedule and can fit filming in more easily. And basically where I am right now is more focused with my time, with my work schedule, I guess I should say. So I left my job that I've been at for like close to 10 years, and I started my own freelance business, editing and proofreading, and that's going well, but of course it's a lot of work to like get a website up and update my resume and like try to like reach out to potential clients, and all this stuff is just, it consumed a lot of my time. And also I had stayed on part-time at my previous job just as like, because I like the people I work with and I like the organization, and so partly as a favor to them to kind of ease that transition, because I was in a senior position, and just so it wasn't just a 2-week notice. So I decided to stay on for 6 months, just in a part-time capacity. So it was partly for their benefit, but partly for mine, because it was a bit of an income stream while I was trying to get my feet under me with my own business. So that time, that 6 months is basically up in June. So I have like another week. And so it's going to be less hectic because it was a lot to try to juggle working part-time at my old job and then kind of like refocusing on this other endeavor. And so it was a lot. But once my time with my old job is done, then I will be able to like have a more just better work schedule that's more well-defined, I guess. So that's my little life update. And I think that's it. This was a little bit of a long Friday Reads for me, but thank you if you've stuck with me to the end. And I'm very excited to be around BookTube a little more frequently than I have been the last few months. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we will chat soon. Take care. Bye.